Which relaxer is the right relaxer for you to use? Is it the relaxer that comes in a kit, or is it the relaxer that comes in a jar? In this video, you will learn which relaxer is the best relaxer for you. Well, hello there. Welcome back to another video with your girl, Mika. So first up is the kit relaxer. In a kit relaxer, you get everything that you need to complete your relaxer day. So you're getting your neutralizing shampoo, you are getting your hair treatment, you're getting your conditioner, and you are also going to be getting your activator to put into your relaxer so that you can mix it around so that your relaxer can be activated for you to use. While in the jar relaxer, you get everything mixed already. And when I say everything, I'm not talking about the shampoo. I am talking about the active ingredient that is in the relaxer that is going to make the relaxer work. So in the kit relaxer, you will have the active ingredient calcium, and in the relaxer that comes in a jar, you will have the active ingredient hydroxide, sodium hydroxide to be specific. So both relaxer carries two different active ingredients. However, while it is in the kit relaxer, you'll get everything you need to complete your relaxer service. In the jar relaxer, you will get it ready done in a sense that you don't have to mix, but at the same time, you will have to go out and you will have to buy a neutralizing shampoo. You will also have to buy a conditioner and also the hair treatment. Those do not sell as a complete set in one unit. You have to purchase them individually. While the one that comes in the kit relaxer, then it comes with everything inside of the box. Now you might be wondering, what is the difference between both relaxer and what would make one better for you or the other? The relaxer that comes in the jar, that relaxer active ingredient, as was mentioned earlier, is sodium hydroxide. Now, this active ingredient is what really gets your hair to be straight. But the relaxer that comes in a jar, usually they are for professional use. So these are made for persons who work in the hair care industry, in a beauty salon. So they are the ones who really should be using the ones that comes in a jar. At least that is what we were taught when we were in school, and that is what we were told from some of these companies years ago when I used to go to different workshops. That's what they said, that we were supposed, that professional, these are for professional use. And so these relaxer would typically come in a 2 pound jar bottle or a 4 pound jar bottle. So I usually buy the 4 pound because it lasts a lot longer. However, in the kit relaxer, the active ingredient, as I mentioned earlier, is calcium. And you and I know, or you may know, that calcium builds up over time. In your bathroom where you have water running, you might have calcium built up. You might have calcium build up in your toilet, in your shower area, or in your face basin. You might have calcium build up, or even in your shower heads, you might have calcium build up. Now, just imagine if the active ingredient in the kit relaxer is calcium, then it means then that over a period of time of using the kit relaxer, you are going to have buildup on your hair shaft, which would give you a dull appearance over a period of time. So if you're a person who uses kit relaxers that uses the calcium as its active ingredient to get your hair straightened, then you are going to run the risk of having buildup on your hair over time. So you can tell me in the comment section if you use kit relaxers. Do your hair have a dull look or a dry appearance? Because most time when persons use kit relaxers that contain calcium as its active ingredient, then that is what is going to happen. And so to avoid that, your best choice is to use a relaxer that contains sodium hydroxide. However, I want you to keep in mind that calcium is just one of the active ingredient that is used in the kit relaxer, and this is the most popular active ingredient that is used in kit relaxers. So you have other active ingredients that are used, and so perhaps the kit relaxer that you are using, calcium might not be the active ingredient in that particular kit relaxer. But I'm sure that the Dark and Lovely kit relaxer, among others, this is a popular active ingredient that is used in these kit relaxers. So, as a professional, I usually recommend that person stay away from kit relaxers for that very reason. And you'll be surprised that kit relaxers, in some instances, can even be harsher than a relax that is in a jar that is active ingredient is sodium hydroxide. So let's call the one in the jar the sodium hydroxide relaxers. So the sodium hydroxide relaxer might not be as harsh as a relaxer that comes in a kit. And you might be surprised that these kit relaxers are actually made for persons to use at home. So when all of this kit relaxer started about, it was so that persons could purchase these at the beauty supply stores and then go home and apply these by themselves. So that is why you find in the kit relaxer you have gloves, spatula, everything that you would need to complete the entire relaxer service. But I'm telling you, even though the kit relaxers are called no lie, which simply means that you don't have to base your entire scalp, they do put an oil based scalp protector in the kit relaxer, but it's a small one, which means that you'll only be able to use it around your hairline. But if you're using kit relaxers, I would definitely suggest to base your entire scalp because these relaxers are actually harsher than the sodium hydroxide relaxer. In fact, if you use the kit relaxers, in some instances, it actually gets your hair much straighter than if you use a sodium hydroxide relaxer. So, despite what the manufacturers might say that these relaxers are not as harsh as a sodium hydroxide relaxer and that it is safe for you to use at home on your own, trust me, still follow all the precautions that you would if you were using a sodium hydroxide relaxer. So while both relaxers, the aim is to get your hair straightened, just remember that the possibility lies that if you use a kit relaxer, your hair can also become straighter than if you use a sodium hydroxide relaxer. Of course, these relaxers come in different strengths. They do come in mild, regular, and super. The same thing. So both relaxer, both the kit relaxer and the sodium hydroxide relaxer comes in three strengths. So you would have to choose the best one for you. Now, if you do not want your hair to become very straight or bone straight, then you want to go with maybe the mild or the regular. Stay away from the super. If super is not for everyone, because if you use the super on your hair and your hair do not need that super strength, then trust me, your hair is going to be super straight. And if you have fine textured hair, then your hair is going to be limp and it's not going to look very full. So if you want to keep some of your curls in, stick with the mild or the regular. And the same thing goes for the sodium hydroxide. While it is that sodium hydroxide relaxers are made for professional use, we do see that beauty supply store, anyone can purchase these products in today's society. Before, you would have to have a license in order to purchase the sodium hydroxide relaxer, but for the kit relaxer, you could just buy those and take them home. Now you can buy just about any relaxer you want, whether you want the sodium hydroxide or the kit relaxer. But if you are going to buy a kit relaxer, I would not recommend one that has calcium as the active ingredient, as this is going to coat your hair shaft. And if you continue to use this type of relaxer over a period of time, as I mentioned earlier, you are going to see that your hair is going to become dull, and what is going to happen is that the calcium is going to build up on your hair shaft and it is going to prevent your hair from benefiting from hair treatment. So you have your nice hair, put on your nice treatment, your hair is not going to benefit from that. Why? Because it is coated. And so to avoid all of that, it's best just to stay away from calcium based relaxer and stick with your sodium hydroxide relaxer. And just to make it easy for you to choose, just choose the relaxers that comes in a jar that is already mixed and put together and ready for you to use. And stay away from the ones that you have to put the active ingredient in the jar and mix it around to use. And you can look at the ingredient listing at the back of your kit relaxer to see which active ingredient they're using, if it is calcium based, and if it's calcium based, you definitely want to stay away from that because that is going to build up on your hair over time. And trust me, you are not going to love it if your hair is constantly being coated with calcium. We all want our hair to look nice and shiny, so stay away from those calcium based relaxer. So the best relaxer for you to choose, if you're choosing a relaxer, go right ahead and choose your sodium hydroxide relaxer. Of course, if you don't want your hair to be too straight, stick with the regular or the mild strength. And keep in mind that relaxers were never made to remove all of our curls. Did you know that? Relaxers were never meant to remove all of our curls. So the next time you do your relaxer, leave some of your curls in. Don't take away all your curls. Leave some in. And the only way you can do that is by using a mild relaxer or a regular relaxer, depending on the hair texture that you have. I get this question all the time. Should you relax your children's hair or your kids' hair? Should you relax your little daughter hair? She's only 7, she's only 8, she's only 9. Should you put relaxers in kids' hair? In the next video, I am going to be answering that question for you. And once it is up, it will be right here for you to watch. Stick around for that one. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.